Alright, I'm back after I think like maybe 2, 3 weeks. I've been busy, as you can see, or as you can tell by the delay, but I've been busy, really busy. And, yeah, might be a little soft because I'm trying to whisper because I have family over and I'm trying to get this out as soon as possible because I have a break from summer school. So fun, very fun, lots of fun. Ow, ow, lots of fun. So, yeah, so this will be part 2 to what if Deku had the powers of the Sage of Six Path from the Naruto series. I'm just saying, a lot's gonna happen in this episode. A lot's gonna happen in this part. I might be progressing Deku too quickly, but you know, my what if, my rules. But I will ask a question later on that is going to serve extremely important, so please comment, or else I wouldn't be able to figure it out by myself, because I am simple-minded. Okay, so when we left off, Inko had found a mysterious scroll that Hisashi had left that told Inko to give the scroll to Deku. I'm gonna call him Deku because easier. Told her to give the scroll to Deku when his eyes grow crimson red with a small black pupil and a smaller black comma-looking pupil around a thin ring. And when Deku comes into the room right after she reads that, all she can see when she looks at him is the crimson eye of the Sharingan, exactly like how it was described in the letter. This is where we return. So Deku walks in and Inko locks eyes with him, seeing the crimson eyes that Hisashi had described in the letter. She called Izuku over, saying, "Izuku, can you have a letter from your father?" Izuku responds with, "Dad." "Dad? He sent me a letter?" "Well, not exactly. It's more something he left for a different time." "Oh." Deku responding in disappointment, "I see. So, Mom, what does it say?" Inko, now remembering about the scroll, opens it and realizes it just has a strange spelling errors. Strange symbol on it. It looks like writing, but Inko can't seem to read it. Like it looks like a Japanese language, but Inko can't seem to understand what it says. Deku, feeling this odd pull, places his hand onto the paper and focuses on it, like pours chakra into it, or whatever. I can't really think of a way to describe how the chakra is gonna work, so yeah. Deku, feeling this odd pull, places his hand on the paper and focuses on it. Suddenly, tons of scroll pop up out of nowhere. Shocked, Izuku screams, Mom, are you alright?" Inko responds shocked, "Yes, Izuku, I'm alright." "Mom, what in the world was that?" I don't know." Curious, Deku opens a scroll named Read This First, because plot. It unrolls to reveal a letter stating the following. "Izuku, my son, if you are reading this, you have awoken the Sharingan, an ability only us Uchiha have access to. This Sharingan is very special. It's a power called the Dojutsu, an ability that is used by the eyes. If you have awoken the Sharingan, you should be able to read the rest. Just try and focus your chakra into your eyes. The rest of the letter is in an unknown language to both Inko and Izuku, though he swears that he had seen it before. Both Inko and Izuku are confused about all of this Uchiha, Sharingan, Dojutsu. Mom, what does any of this mean? I know as much as you do right now. Deku, following his father's instructions, puts focus and pressure into his eyes. Suddenly, everything goes black and white again, just like how it did before in his childhood. Or just like how it did before when he helped that kid against Bakugo. Yeah. But one thing is different, more different than before. He can read the rest of the scroll now. Deku stares at the scroll. Mom, I can read the scroll. Inko, shocked, responds, "What?" Then, then the scroll continues. "I'm sorry about having to make the rest of these. Apologize for having to make the rest of." Oh, I lost my place now. Rest of these scrolls like this, but I need to keep this secret. If someone could find out about this world, if someone could find out about this world could fall out of order. And yes, I did say the rest of these scrolls. They're all in this language. All in this language. So back to the Sharingan. Izuku, the Sharingan is a power that can't be used unless someone has your eyes. And yes, someone can take them, so be careful. But don't worry too much. Live a life. Not many people know about stealing the Sharingan. Izuku, you can't tell anyone that you're a chakra user. People want to hurt you. I'm sorry, I can't be there to train you. But I left these scrolls here for you. They tell you everything about the chakra control and even the abilities of the Sharingan. Whatever, my spelling is horrible. Of the Sharingan, please train and become the strongest you can be. And don't open the black scroll with the silver stripe and rainbow ribbon until your eyes evolve past the 3 Tomoe. Yes, there are 3 stages to the basic Sharingan. In Deku's head, basic. Once you know you have achieved a form higher, open the scroll. The scrolls will have things called jutsu you can hopefully perform. In the black scroll with the silver ribbon, there will be a piece of paper along with instructions of how to use it. This will be all I have to say. To put the scrolls back, grab the original scroll and place your hand on it, saying seal. Izuku closes the scroll and goes to the black scroll with the silver ribbon. While Deku is just going in and reading the scrolls, Inko is sitting there in shock and awe, because she sees Izuku reading something that she doesn't even know the language of. Inside the black scroll with the silver ribbon, there is a symbol, just like the other one. Thinking to what his dad said about putting the scrolls back, he had the opposite thought, and then places his hand on the scroll and exclaims, "Release." To which text appears on the scroll, and a paper falls out. Deku reads the scroll. Good, I see you know how to. Open the scroll. So, you see that paper? It's a chakra paper. It's used to find affinities of your chakra. I'll tell you how it works now. The paper will react if you pour your chakra into it. If you have a wind nature, the paper will split in half. If it's lightning, the paper will wrinkle. If it's earth, the paper will turn to dirt and crumble away. If it's water, the paper will become damp. And if you have fire, like me, the paper will burn up and turn to ash. To work it, all you have to do is focus your chakra into the paper. In Deku's head, focus the chakra into the paper. As he focuses on squeezing the paper suddenly splits up into 4 smaller squares. One crumples up, another becomes damp, the other crumbles into dust, and the last one burns up and turns to ash. Deku, shocked, whispers, "Does that mean I have all affinities?" It did split, it caught on fire, it turned to dust, it got damp, and it did crinkle. Izuku looks at the scrolls. Depending on what affinity or affinities you get, there are scrolls that are color coordinated to its element. Green scrolls are wind type, red scrolls are fire, blue scrolls are water, purple scrolls are lightning, and brown scrolls are earth. There are also some other scrolls that have Kekkei Genkai or bloodline limit jutsus, like our Sharingan. They will show you They're scrolls with 2 or 3 colors. For example, wood style is both brown and blue, representing the combination of earth and water and such. There are also different ribbons 5 to be exact. The scrolls with the red ribbon are attack ninjutsu. The ones with blue ribbon is misc, for example, sealing, space-time curses, and things of the sort. Black ribbons are ones that hold information. Another is a lime green ribbon, which are medical and support based. And the last, silver ribbons, the item that you have. The items for what I think you could find useful that I won't really count. Useful. One that I won't really count still, but still is there, is the rainbow ribbon. There is only one scroll, but you cannot open it now. Only open it when you achieve a level beyond the 3 tomoe. Izuku looks around at all the scrolls. After a little while, he goes back to the original one and places his hand on it, waiting for a moment and then saying seal. All the scrolls then go back into the original one. Inko is sitting there in astonishment, and Deku is still processing all of this as he takes the scroll to his room. Thanks, Mom. This was interesting to learn about. Izuku or Deku then hurries into his room and to study the scrolls. Izuku spends the rest of the time up until his last week or so of middle school to study and practice the skills by the end of his middle school. Deku has a perfect mastery over taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu, meaning that he can fight really well, cast ninjutsu, and can put people in genjutsus extremely quickly and extremely powerful genjutsu. Deku has also found out some techniques aside for the ones that were in the scrolls, some of which are flying and control over the truth-seeking orbs. And yes, Izuku does have control over his chakra, so he can walk on walls, walk on water, he can fly because of being an Otsutsuki, he can control the truth-seeking orbs, and yes, they regenerate, so don't worry about that. Upon Deku training with chakra control by standing on the innermost part of the roof, using chakra and training with the truth-seeking orbs, he suddenly sprouts 3 more, creating 9 total orbs. Shocked, he falls from the roof and just lays there exhausted from chakra overdose because he has been using it for like 2-3 days, just been trying to walk on walls, water, and the ceiling. This training had helped Deku to unlock the second Tomoe Sharingan. All he needs is that push to get a third, and that push of a death of a friend, of which he thinks he caused. Little did he know, all of that would happen way sooner than he thought. Izuku is talking to Bakugo at the last day of middle school. Kachan, I heard that you were going to UA, or that you were getting into UA. I'm not gonna try, Deku. I will get in. This conversation is cut short by a few of Bakugo's goons. Yo, Bakugo, let's go. Bakugo responds irritably. Alright, see you later, Deku. Deku then goes to walk home, but being excited about trying his new weighted clothing, because he has weighted clothing. Yes, he's gonna be broken, speed broken, power broken, everything broken. Goes to walk home inside in this small alley. But he takes a shortcut home in this small alley. Izuku is training himself to keep. That's supposed to say keep, not keep. Yeah. Oh, sorry. To keep the Sharingan active. Where is it? Keep the Sharingan on for as long as he can. He immediately senses someone or something coming up behind him and immediately dodges and clings to a wall using chakra to stand to it. The slime villain then turns to meet eyes with Deku and says, your quirk seems strong and useful for running away, and your body looks nice and strong. Guessing you trained? This body, that quirk. Give them to me. Deku dodges once again, but this time Deku yells, Multi-Shadow Clone Jutsu, to which 4 other Dekus appear out of nowhere, making 5 in total. Then Deku and his clones yell, and his clones surrounding the sludge villain, yelling, "Wind release, soaring wind." The sludge villain looks confused and suddenly scared when 5 blasts of air come at him. Once they connect, a massive amount of wind pressure blows the sludge villain up in the air and scatters him around. At that moment, a man with blonde hair pops up out of the sewer yelling, "I am here." "Young man, where is the sludge villain?" Deku, internally fanboying, responds, "All Might." Once the villain, the villain? I blasted him away because he was trying to take my body. All Might understood and is about to jump off, and Deku tries to stop him, but All Might is too focused on getting away before his time runs out that he can't hear him, and jumps to the closest building. Deku, not wanting to miss his chance to ask his idol about being a hero, he flies after All Might. He flies after All Might, and when All Might lands on the roof, he breathes out, saying, "I barely have any time left in this form. I would say about 5 minutes." All Might, all of a sudden, Deku responds to All Might saying this and asks him, "5 minutes? Until what form runs out?" All Might is caught off guard by this. "What the? Kid, how did you get up here so fast?" Deku looks confused and says, "I flew?" "Ah, I see. So your quirk is flying?" "So, wow, what was that extreme amount of wind pressure before?" Deku then responds with, "Oh, no. My quirk isn't flying. I have Deku then remembers what his father told him in the letter. "Don't tell anyone that you're a chakra user." Deku continues his sentence. "I have the ability over elements and some other things." "Yeah, some other things. Oh, before I forget, All Might, can I be a hero even if I don't technically have a quirk?" As soon as Deku asks this, All Might buffs down and spits up a small amount of blood. Doing so, Deku doesn't freak out because he has the same feeling as All Might, but weaker. The chakra network is weaker because he still has the Sharingan on, you can see that. After All Might explains to Deku, "Whatever you have, even if it's not a quirk, is powerful. But the way you are now, you aren't number 1 material, kid. Maybe a good 2nd or 3rd. Despite All Might trying to let Deku down slowly, this crushes him. Izuku is saddened to the point where his eyes burn and feel like crying, but the burning is too much, and when the pain subsides, All Might's gone. He had taken the stairs. And Izuku, or Deku, is left on the roof with the 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Deku is sitting alone on the roof when there is an explosion in the distance. Deku flies over to see what's happening. Suddenly, he sees it. The sludge monster. The sludge monster he had blasted away. It's oh god. It's holding someone. It's holding someone. It's Bakugo. Bakugo then locks eyes with Deku, and unlike in canon, Bakugo is weaker because he was training alone before, so he can't put up as much of a fight, and passes out. But Deku doesn't know that from what he can see, because his Sharingan kind of just shut off, because I'm too lazy to explain things, and I can't really think of anything now. But he kind of just turned off his Sharingan after that because the pain was too much, I guess. For what he can see, Bakugo died, and it's all his fault. He blasted away the sludge villain. He didn't stop it in time. He wasn't fast enough to stop it in time. He blasted away the sludge villain. He could have captured it, an ice person or something. This is all his fault. This keeps ringing through Deku's mind until another burning sensation happens, when he seems to be crying. But he wipes tears of blood, and he feels stronger somehow. He looks down to a puddle, seeing no Tomoe in his Sharingan. Instead, a pinwheel shape. He had just awoken the Mangekyo Sharingan. He doesn't know this, but all he can remember is, this is what Dad was talking about. The thing stronger than the basic Sharingan, something stronger than the 2 and 3 Tomoe. This is where the video will leave off for now. I'm sorry about the delay and future delays, but I have summer school and other things. But I will try to get videos out whenever I can. So, also, I need you to give me a bit of help. If you would be so kind to comment the powers of Izuku Midoriya's Mangekyo Sharingan. Just 2 random abilities. It doesn't have to be like canon or anything. It can be broken. It can be like just somewhat helpful, like, you know? And I will take like multi-stepped abilities for one eye, and then like another totally different set for a different one. So like, for all that I know, he could have like Kamui in one eye, like both forms of Kamui in one eye, and then like both forms of Amaterasu in the other. Like, I wouldn't really care. I just need 2 random suggestions. It can be any type of power or anything, you know. I don't really care. I just need help with that. Can't really think of anything right now. If you want him to have, yeah, like, I don't have any, you know, if nobody really comments, or I don't like the ones, like, it's gonna be hard to put that into a video. I'll ask a few friends, but I'd rather not, you know, because at that rate it's making my channel too closed off. So yeah, just comment 2 abilities that you would like Deku's Mangekyo to be. Yeah. Yeah, that's all for now. So, see ya. Have a nice day.